Hey, Carmen.
Hello, hello. I'm going to get us all connected here and we'll give
Great.
just about a minute to join. So happy to see you, Heather and Krista.
Yeah, you as well.
Brooke is here. Yay, yay, yay. So give me just a uno momento and we'll give everybody another chance to join. It seems like now that even though we're not into summer yet, that people are having summery type plans. So maybe Saturday maybe isn't the best day anymore. I don't know. We'll have to take a poll in our group and see what it is. So I'm going to connect us to our Facebook group now. So give me just a sec. Oh, goodness. Well, change that. And Zoom looks like they changed it. And so I don't know the new requirements now. So I'll have to figure that out later. Don't you love technology? So welcome, welcome, welcome. So I did the most amazing like cacao ceremony this morning. It was so super fun here on Miami Beach. So I hope everybody's had a great morning so far. And I love that you all are joining. Oh, we'll give Corey an opportunity to join. I'm just going to talk for maybe a minute or two, and then I'm going to introduce Heather. And so if you don't already, you're going to need a little bit of space to move around. If you have a yoga mat, you can get that out. If you have carpet, that's totally fine too. Maybe have a pillow, a blanket. If you have 2 yoga blocks or maybe like things that are about the same size, or if you don't have any of that, just a little bit of space to move around and be free and flow and breathe and just follow along. So, and Corey, I thought was joining, but maybe not. So, what I wanted to chat about is if you're following along in our book club, or if you're not, I'm going to read a little bit from our book, Pussy, a Reclamation, which has been fun so far. That's where, if you're not reading it and you're wondering in the membership group on Facebook, where the throw away all your underwear, like panties, and buy brand new, because who wants to hold on to like that old, that underwear, the comfortable underwear for like the time of the month? Like, feel good about it. And the No Panty Friday, like, that's where all that's coming from, right? So let me just read a couple of things from here that I picked out for today's call, because I had shared with Heather that we've been working on being really intentional and really tapping in to our divine feminine and stepping into that a little bit. So let me get here where I wanted to read. Too often, we don't take the time to make ourselves feel good. We're so involved in making others feel good, we neglect to put attention on ourselves. So, this is the practice of taking the time to do small or large things for yourself for no other reason but to make yourself feel good. It's making the space for yourself in everything that you do. How wonderful is that? Which that's what we all want. We all want experiences that continually break us and remake us into the radiant, powerful, erotic women we were born to be. So I thought that that was so powerful for today. And then I drew a card for today for our conversation. And so what came up I thought was really fitting too. It says, to begin the practice of allowing, I must get out of the way and let spirit give me direction. And so I thought all of this was a really good guidance for our practice today and for our intention. And so just going back to making time for ourselves. So right now, like applause, give yourself a high five, a pat on the back for being here, because there could have been so many other things I know that you could have been doing or made an excuse not to do this for yourself. So thank you for showing up for yourselves, and thank you for showing up for each other and our community. And we are recording it, so we'll be able to post it in the group and everybody will be able to watch. But there's something different about joining live, right? It's like we're all still connected in the same room and within the energy of the practice. So let me go ahead and introduce Heather's, who everybody sees here. So Heather started teaching yoga in 2010 to her high risk science students and boys lacrosse teams in New York, living with debilitating chronic pain, knowing the difference in quality of life yoga, the quality of life yoga was offering to her, and seeing the major shifts in her students and players, she quit her job, moved across country, and completed her first yoga training in California. Heather then realized the opportunity to share a wellness practice over an she used so many big words at one time. I should have really read this multiple times. So I'm just going to read what I think. So anyway, she uses healing to open the heart space. So she wanted to be able to incorporate a different skill set. So she enrolled in a new training called yoga therapy, where she specializes in stress, trauma, and resiliency, leaning on practices of Ayurvedic yoga, somatics, and current pain science research. So she completed an 800-hour certification and 150 clinical hours, which if you don't know is a lot of hours, in March of 2021, and is a certified yoga therapist. So this is the part that I love the most. It is her goal to utilize client strengths and develop resources to help them find more balance in all layers of their being, right? I love that because she takes a holistic approach. So her offerings are based in compassion, self-awareness, self-acceptance, and playfulness. So not being so damn serious all the time, with the intention of lovingly guiding you back home to yourself, which is what we're talking about today. So with that, I will turn the floor over to Heather. And then I know at the end, so if any questions come up, or if you have questions right now, write them down. And so at the end, there will be a little bit of time for Q&A too. So the floor is yours.
Great. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. I got my headset on. Perfect. Okay, so Carmen, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction and for inviting me into this space today. I don't take opportunities to speak with other women like this lightly, so please know that this is a divine opportunity. I feel very grateful to be here. A little bit about our time together. I will be leading us through about 30 to 40 minutes of movement that will involve some seated positions. So Carmen mentioned having maybe a blanket or a pillow, nothing fancy. We'll get up, we'll stand for maybe like 5 minutes. We'll do a couple of heating postures, and then we'll get down onto the ground, and we're going to be moving that heat down into our hips. As Carmen mentioned, I am a yoga therapist, and my biggest thing is I'm not looking for you to follow along with what your ability is. I'm looking for you to follow along with what your needs are. We know that our abilities can grow and change over time. Our needs, especially as women, they fluctuate a lot faster, especially when we're out in the world, we're kind of engaging in a lot of different things all the time. Our needs can really, really fluctuate. So the way that I will offer that you meet your needs and not your ability today is that you practice with what I like to call a sustainable breath. I'm not sure if you've had yoga experience in your past, but sometimes we move in a session and we can't catch our breath. And really for me, I like what Carmen was saying, that spirit gives direction. From this practice of yoga therapy, our breath is our spirit. And if we're not in connection with it, we're probably moving in a direction that's not appropriate for us at this time. So first and foremost, as we go through our practice today, stay in tune with your breath. Try to find a nice sustainable breath where you're not losing your breath. You don't feel short of breath, essentially. That being said, anything I have to offer to you, I am here as a guide. If it's not right for your body, you want to find a different shape or movement, by all means, adjust your body. It's your time is for you to tune in deeply. Okay? Yep. Before we jump in, I wanted to show you my setup. You don't have to have this by any means. I do have a blanket in the middle of my space, and I have 2 blocks at the front of my space. Again, thick blocks or books or boxes will work instead of those blocks if you want. And the last thing before we jump in, I utilize a practice which is deeply enrooted into the roots of yoga, and it's called utilizing mudras. Mudras are gestures that you can take with the hands, with the body, or with the face. We use some of these mudras in our American culture. Here's one. It offers an expression through what we're doing with our body. We also use another one that's not very nice, and I'm not going to show you, but essentially the mudra we'll be using today, it's called Takini Mudra, and it's just allowing the tips of your fingers to come together, and it's a gesture of balance. Essentially what it's doing, we equate the right side of our bodies in yoga therapy with more of our masculine energy and the left side of our body with our feminine energy. So in this gesture, we're inviting both of those energies to find balance with one another so that we can move in the way that we wish to in our lives. The last thing I'll say about this mudra is not only balancing our masculine and our feminine energy, but if you're familiar with the chakra system or with the use of elements in a yoga practice, it's also balancing our earth, water, very keen to women, fire, air, and ether. So it's balancing all of our first 5 chakras simultaneously. I really like this mudra, especially when I'm sitting in a waiting room or something like that, where I just need to check in and find a little bit more balance. You do not need to use the mudra if you're uncomfortable doing so. Okay. Okay. I will be guiding from my mat. I'll have my headset on. I'll hear you. If you need any redirections, please speak up. Can change what we're doing. Sound good? Perfect. Let's go ahead. I'm going to back away from the screen so I can be on my space. I'm also going to have my phone near me just for the sake of time. I want to jot down what time we'll be starting at. And then let's go ahead. If you need to adjust your camera, if you need to move a little bit away from the screen, putting down some tea or anything else like that, go ahead and take a minute to do so. And the other thing I'd like to say is you're adjusting. I know how it is to have that camera on. I really would at least like to see one body on the screen. If you need to turn your camera off because that helps you to feel more safe or like you're in your own space, please, you're more than welcome to go ahead and turn that camera off. Okay. Let's take a moment. Once you've found a seat that feels supportive, let's take a moment to close your eyes. You can allow your hands just to start in connection with your body. I like to start every practice with some time to ground, which really means just allowing our mind to kind of settle. So let's go ahead and release anything that happened before a session. Can allow any plans or expectations for the remainder of your day to also just fade away. And as your mind starts to settle, you can invite your inner mind's eye or that inner witness to start to feel into the parts of your body that are in connection with the ground. So maybe you allow your mind's eye to start to move through your legs and your feet and your hips. We're really just starting to touch in and to notice how our body feels today. Can allow your mind's eye to slowly start to move from the places in connection with the ground. Start to feel into your abdomen, maybe into your low back and your chest. Really allowing and accepting for whatever it is that you notice. So taking in the places that are open just as willingly as we're taking in the places that might be a little bit tight. And also those places that may be without sensation. For this is also a type of sensation, the lack of a felt sense. Let your mind's eye move if it hasn't already done so, exploring the shoulders, the heart space, the throat, and finally up into the mind. And then once you've had an opportunity to just check in with your physical body, let's then turn your awareness a little bit more subtly inwards towards your breath. And here, if you'd like, we can bring the hands to Hakini Mudra by allowing the tips of the left and the right hand to come together in this gesture of balance, allowing the hands to either rest in the legs or perhaps holding them gently right in front of your sacral chakra. So this is definitely the center of our home for femininity. It's right out in front of your uterus and your pelvis. Just start to feel into your natural style of breath this morning. Becoming aware of where you feel your breath in your body. Noticing your natural breath qualities this morning. And then when you're ready, and if it's comfortable, we'll invite you to seal your lips and begin to breathe in and out of both nostrils, allowing your incoming breath to gently expand into your belly before rising softly and expanding towards the chest and the shoulders. Your exhale starts to slow down, releasing the breath from your shoulders and chest all the way back down to your belly. Allowing each new wave of breath that comes in to be just a little bit slower, to be just a little bit longer. Allowing yourself to really sink in and be soothed by just your breath here. Let's take 3 to 4 breaths here in a silent seated meditation, weaving together our mudra in our hands, our breath in our body, and the beating of our heart. Let your mind come back to the felt sense of your breath if it wanders. One last moment right here. At the bottom of your next exhale, let's go ahead, release the mudra if you've been utilizing it. You can keep the eyes closed or gently flutter the eyes open, keeping the gaze low. Let's take the hands in front of the abdomen and start to rub your hands together, creating some warmth and friction. And we're going to invite the hands to gently start to tap the body, beginning down by the feet, moving through the legs, the inner thighs, the outer hips. Just let your fingers start to explore your perimeter. It's a nice way that we start to feel our physical boundary and all the space that we have to breathe and move into. You can let those tapping hands come up to your shoulders and your chest, the back of your neck, the back of your head, all the way up and over to your eyebrows, tap around your eyes, over the bridge of your nose and your cheeks, tapping your beautiful, beautiful face, down through your throat, over your heart, down through the belly, and all the way back down towards your legs. Keep letting those fingers tap. The quality of yoga therapy is where our awareness goes, our energy flows. So we can move our awareness with physical sensation or by moving our internal awareness. So letting that energy start to free flow, waking up your body. And then with your next exhale, let those shoulders drop, palms come facing down on top of the legs. Let's inhale, start to roll your heart forward, opening it towards the screen. And then as we exhale, we're going to start to circle back and around. If you're familiar with yoga, we're kind of finding a cat shape at the back. And then inhaling, starting to draw that heart forward, more of a cow shape. Eyes open or closed, a little bit of space between the jaw. Starting to feel into the sides of your neck, the side bodies, and your hips. This practice that we'll be moving to today really focuses on the water element and the quality of fluidity, which is very akin to womanhood. Let's go ahead, reverse the circle of your directions if you've been going one way. So when we look to bring in more of this water element, we look to circle in our joints. lubricate the major joints of the body so that we move a little bit smoother through our day. Let's take one more breath, possibly moving around. Let those circles start to slow down until you find yourself back at center with your shoulders floating directly over the hips. You can extend those fingertips down towards the earth. Gentle engagement through the belly. Inhale, float your arms all the way up. Reach, reach, reach through your fingers. Exhale, left hand can come towards the ground. Lean towards the left and reach through your right arm. Good. Big inhale, sweep both arms up. Come all the way up, nice and long. Exhale, allow your right hand to come down, leaning, reaching through the left fingers. One more time, each direction. Inhale, come up, feel your strength here. Exhale with ease, lean towards the left hand plants, reach through the right fingers. Big inhale, come all the way up, last side. Exhale, right hand towards the earth, reach to the left fingers, press down to the left hip. Inhale, come all the way up to center. Fingertips can come to Hakini. Exhale, bring those hands down in front of the heart space. Inhale, squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears. Contract, contract, contract. We're going to open mouth, exhale, stick out your tongue and sigh it out. Yeah, 2 more like that. Inhale, draw the shoulders up, contract the sides of the neck, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Open mouth, exhale. Let it go. One last time, inhale, squeeze it up. This last exhale, open your mouth. Let it go. Allow your eyes to close. Take one breath in stillness and one breath at center. Allow your hands to come down towards your legs. Gently flutter your eyes open. Let's make your way forward towards a tabletop position. We'll come forward into all fours. You're welcome to have a blanket on the earth beneath the knees. Your hands will come to the ground beneath the shoulders. If you have any tension in the wrists, please feel free to come up onto your fists instead. We'll start with just the movements for our, for our spine. It's inhale, gently draw your heart forward, arching through the back. Good. Exhale, tuck your tailbone, press into your hands, round your upper spine, and find a nice cat shape, rounding through the upper spine. You can move back and forth here with your own breath, inhaling to gently arch, and exhaling to gently round. You can continue to move back and forth here in these linear movements. But anytime it feels right, maybe you close the eyes and start to experiment with some freestyle movements. So that might mean walking the hands forward, taking up more space, and letting the sits bones come back towards the heels as you circle around. That might mean pressing into your hands and kind of barrel rolling through the center of your body and the torso. This is really time to tune in and to listen to the needs of your body. Oftentimes, as we go through our day, we don't have an opportunity to respond when our body speaks to us. This is your time now. As you move, invite your breath to come in and flush out whatever you're working on. Let's take another moment moving through this freestyle, perhaps switching your directions if you've been going one way, maybe finding an entirely new movement. Our sense of balance as we move through our practice today is moving from active to passive. How quickly can we move from a place where we're busy and we're doing to a place of stillness and a little bit of inner peace? Start to slow your movements down. Bring your body eventually back to your tabletop position. If you'd like, you can grab a hold of one of your blocks or maybe a book. We'll place it onto the earth beneath our nose. We'll step the right foot out towards the side. My right foot is in line with my left knee. The sole of the right foot's planted on the ground. We'll bring the left hand to the earth or a block beneath the nose. Reach the crown of your head forward towards me with a big inhale. And then exhale, half circle pose. Reach the right fingertips towards the sky. Gaze is at the wall or an object directly in front of you. And see if you can reach out in all four directions, through both hands, through the right foot, and down to the left knee. Allow your breath to be nice and full, inhaling, creating space, and exhaling, creating ease and softness. One more breath. And as you exhale, allow that right hand to come down to the ground. You may wish to slide your block towards the left, placing it in line with the left knee. We'll walk the hands over towards the left hand in line with the left knee, maybe on the block. Inhale, sweep your right arm up, and then send it over. So we're in a variation of a side plank pose here. Beautiful. Half rainbow as you're arching into the right side body. If it feels good, you're welcome to circle that top arm. You're welcome to circle the wrist. Good. Let your breath wash through your right ribs and right shoulder as you move. One more inhale. Next exhale, allow that right hand to come back down towards the ground. Send your block back forward if you're using it. We'll bring the hands to the earth beneath the shoulders. Step your right foot back to meet your left. And then sits bones towards the heels. Make your way towards a closed knee child's pose. Knees together, big toes together. You can stack the hands out in front of you. Allow your forehead to rest on the stacking of your hands. And then maybe you just shimmy the hips easily from side to side. Taking an opportunity, allow your breath to slow down. Take a moment to scan the right side and the left side of your body. Last breath here in stillness. You can slide your hands to the ground beneath the shoulders. Press the earth away. Feel the strength of the back of your upper arms here. And then walk those hands forward. Take up some more space back in your tabletop position. And we'll come to the next side. So have that block on the earth beneath the nose if you utilized it on the last side. And then go ahead, we'll step the left foot out towards the left. Left inner foot is in line with the right knee. Good. Right hand to the earth or the block beneath the nose. Inhale, lengthen your crown towards the computer screen. And then exhale, we'll sweep the left hand towards the sky, opening the chest towards the straightened left leg. A little bit of opening for the hips and the heart. Couple of full breaths here, inhaling for expansion, exhaling for ease. The third Yoga Sutra states Sthira Sukham Asanam, which means that a yoga posture is a comfortable and steady pose. Let's exhale, release that left hand back down towards the earth. Start to walk your hands towards the right. Maybe you slide that block, placing it in line with the right knee. Right hand comes in line with that right knee. Inhale, sweep your left arm up. Then exhale, allow it to drop over the left ear, finding your way towards a side plank variation. Breathe into the left side of your body. Maybe that left arm wishes to move around. So coming back to that idea of Sthira Sukham Asanam, I know in a lot of our Western yoga classes, we can focus on that strength. And I invite you to bring in that ease because that's what makes the fullness of your pose. Let's exhale, bring that left hand back down towards the ground. You can walk your hands forward. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Let's tuck the toes behind us and start to walk your hands back towards your knees. We'll roll over the knees. Soles of the feet can come to the ground. And then keeping a nice big bend in your knees, start to straighten the legs slightly and allow the crown of the head to fall towards the ground, keeping a connection between your belly and your thighs. You can grab opposite elbows here and sway side to side. You can nod your head yes or nod your head no. The deeper of a bend you have in your knees, the more of a release this will be for your low back. One more full breath here. Excuse me. And let's release your hands towards the earth if they've lifted. Take a bigger bend in your knees, sweep your arms out towards the side, then press into your feet. Inhale, we're gonna come up through this little baby chair pose. If you practice chair pose in yoga, I want you to take half of what you normally do. Yeah, straighten those legs a little bit. Perfect. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Next, exhale, straighten the legs. Hands come to Hakini Mudra directly out in front of the heart. We'll take 3 rounds of a half sun salutation A. Staying with your pace of breath. Soft bend in your knees, press into the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale, swan dive or forward fold down. Inhale, come up halfway, crown of your head extends forward. And exhale to fold. Big bend in your knees, arms sweep out towards the side, press down, come up through your chair pose on your inhale, straighten your legs, hands up above. Exhale, hands to the center of the heart or Hakini Mudra. Twice more, a movement, a prayer with the body. Inhale, arms sweep up, gathering in your essence. Exhale, allow, fall, float down, forward fold. Inhale, rise up slightly, gain some perspective. Exhale, fold, allow. Soft bend in your knees, press into your feet, sweep the arms towards the side, press down to lift up, rooting to rise. Inhale, straighten the legs, arms up. Exhale, hands together, center of the heart. Last time. Inhale, gather up, open your heart, bring in the breath. Exhale, float down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway rise, feel your capacity. Exhale, fold, surrender. Soft bend in your knees, press down. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, come up through your chair pose. Arms and legs are straight. Exhale, hands come together at the center of the heart. And softly bend your knees. Bring your hands all the way down towards the ground. I'm going to walk the hands forward. Let the knees come towards the earth and come back towards your tabletop position. Good, plenty of time here. Let's go ahead, step your left foot forward between your hands. I'm going to turn my body so that you can see me a little bit more clearly. You may wish to grab a hold of your blocks and allow them to frame your left foot. I like to call this hip flossing. We'll inhale, left knee over left ankle. Then exhale, we'll straighten the front leg and find a half split. You can see I'm kind of using my blocks as stilts here for support. Stay with your breath. If it feels really good in one position, you're more than welcome to hold there. Otherwise, we'll just float back and forth, feeling into the back of the left leg as you exhale, and feeling into the front of the right hip as you inhale. Let's go once or twice more, back and forth. And then the next time you inhale and you're in this low lunge position with your knee over your ankle, we'll walk the hands into the instep of the left foot. If you're familiar with yoga, we're going to move towards a lizard pose, except before we're still, we're just going to circle our hips. So we're circling the hips, letting that left hip, the left femur bone kind of move around in your hip socket. Can go in both directions. This might be small circles, it might be big circles. Doesn't matter, as long as it's feeling good. And then let those hips come to, let your circles come to a completion. We're gonna stack that left knee over the left ankle. You're welcome to stay lifted here, or maybe you start to lower. You can bring your forearms down on top of your blocks if you have that, or maybe you just kind of bend your elbows if your hands are on the ground. I'll check in with what feels right for you today. Maybe the knee continues to hug in towards your shoulder, or maybe you let it wing out towards the side by rolling to the outer edge of the left foot. Yeah, you got it. Perfect. Let's take 3 breaths wherever your body has chosen to be. One more full breath. Now, if you've allowed that left knee to kind of wing out, secure the left foot down on the ground first. Then walk your hands back. You can bring the left foot in between the hands. Let's tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, step your left foot back to meet your right, and we'll take our first and only downward facing dog. You can pedal out your knees here, pressing the opposite heel towards the earth. And as you feel into this downward facing dog, just take a moment to scan your left leg and hip. Just scan your right leg and hip. Just notice. Then we'll switch sides. You can allow your knees to come down towards the earth. Slide your right foot forward this time, landing on the ground between the hands. You can grab a hold of your blocks here if you'd like them for our hip flossing. We'll take some time to just gently move forward and back. So as you inhale, your right knee is over the ankle. And as you exhale, we'll straighten the front leg for a half split. Check in and support and allow for this side of the body. It has been a journey in my own practice to truly understand and accept that not only do my needs and abilities change by the day and by the minute sometimes, but the needs and abilities of the right side and the left side of my body are different. My body started to allow for a lot more love when I started to support it from this place. Next time that right knee is over the right ankle, we'll pause and start to bring the hands on the instep of the right foot. So we're looking for that lizard pose. I'm going to find our hip circles. You can let your hips move around. It might be smaller on this side, might be larger. You can go in both directions. Especially as we age, it's so important to circle in our joints. It allows the fluid in our joints to be a little bit more thicker, a little bit more cushioning. Let's bring those hip circles to completion, and we're going to find a nice hold here. So once again, you can have the knee stacked over the ankle. Maybe you lower down to the forearms or your hands. Or if it feels good on this side, you can totally let the right edge of the foot roll out. Let that right knee kind of wing out and away, so you're more into your hips and glutes. Check in with your jaw. Check in with your breath. Sustainable breath, ease in the jaw. Two more breaths, you've got this. To prepare to move, please plant the right foot back down on the ground if you've rolled. We'll lift back up onto the hands. You can heel toe that right foot in between the hands. And let's just take one more down dog here. Hands to the earth, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Step the right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Can allow yourself to move your hips side to side here. Feeling into both legs equally now. And next exhale, as slowly as you can, slowly lower the knees down towards the ground. Walk your hands forward. We'll come to rest on our bellies. You can take your hands, stack them at the top of your mat, making a little place for the forehead to come to rest. Then walk your legs down the length of your mat, create some more space at the front of your hips. We're going to take 3 big belly breaths here on our back, on our bellies. Notice as you look to expand your belly into the ground with the incoming breath, the compression of the belly on the earth naturally sends the breath into the back of your body. You can feel your breath massaging and expanding into your low back, your mid back, and your upper back. And feel it releasing as you exhale. The breath releases from the upper back, the middle back, and the low back. Take 2 more full breaths here in Makarasana, or crocodile pose. Just massaging your spine from the inside and just using your breath. One more breath here. And then we'll keep our hands as they are. Let's just ensure that the right hand is down on the ground. We're going to start to slide our hands and our head towards the left, and then walk your feet slightly towards the left. So you're creating an easy C shape or a gentle curve on the ground with your body. You can cross the left foot into the right foot to help hold it in place. If you've practiced yoga before, this is similar to Banana Asana, except we're down on our belly. We're looking to feel into the entire right side body and looking to see if we can soften. Heart in connection with the ground. Allow your breath to be full and slow. One more breath right here. You'll start to slide your hands and your head back towards center. Uncross the legs and walk them down the length of your mat. Let's bring that right leg into a half frog pose. You can draw the right knee out onto the ground alongside of us, with that inner thigh opening towards the ground beneath us. Let's take 3 to 4 full breaths here, seeing if you can allow the right front hip bone to drop down towards the ground. Next exhale, slowly extend that right leg back down, coming back into our starting position of Makarasana or crocodile pose. You can shimmy the hips side to side. You can bend the knees and windshield washer the legs. Whether you're choosing to remain in stillness or you're gently moving, so once more, take an opportunity to scan the right hip and leg and to scan the left hip and leg. Let's go ahead and allow any movement to come to a completion, re-extending the legs down the length of the mat if they floated. And this time, before we take our banana asana on our belly, please ensure that the left hand is placed on the ground with the right hand stacked on top. And this time, we'll start to slide the hands and the head towards the right. You can choose to pause and stay here, or maybe walk the feet slightly over towards the right as well. Can allow the top of the right foot to nestle in to the arch of the left foot for support. And then breathe. Let yourself melt into the earth. The ground is completely holding you. You are completely supported. 2 more long, full breaths here. Inhale, create space. And exhale, creates ease. Next inhale, we'll release our gentle side bend. You can bring the hands and the head back towards center. Uncross the legs if they've been crossed and re-extend them down the back of your mat. One breath here in stillness. Allow that to settle. Then we'll invite that left knee out towards the side, inner thigh shining down towards the ground, making our way towards a half frog position. Inner thigh on the left leg, long, the front of the left hip bone releasing easily towards the earth. Allow your breath to move directly in and out of this area of your body so that as you inhale, perhaps you feel a gentle expansion in the left glute and left hip. And as you exhale, you feel a softening, you feel a settling. One more full breath here. And when you feel complete, just go ahead and walk that left leg back down to meet the right foot at the back of your mat. And shimmy the hips, bend the knees, and windshield washer the legs. And then allow those legs to go long again. This time we'll extend the right arm out in front of us. Go ahead and roll in the direction of that extended arm. We're going to come to rest on our back. You can bring the soles of the feet to the ground. Knees can be bent. You may wish to take out any ponytails or buns from the hair so the head can rest comfortably. Then please just have one of your blocks or a book or even a pillow will do here alongside of you. We're going to start with a position that's near and dear, especially to the sacral chakra and our water element. It's called constructive rest. Please walk your feet further apart than hips distance and allow your knees to drop together so that they're gently touching at center. You can take your hands, place it on top of your leg bones, and very gently press the leg bones away, creating some space in the hips. This position is called constructive rest, and it's helpful to release the psoas muscle. Psoas muscle can contribute to pain in the low back. It can contribute to IBS, menstrual cramps. It can really create disorder in the body, especially around stress, especially around trauma. Let's take one more full breath here, allowing the space between your hips to lower down towards the ground. And allow your hands to release from the legs, palms turn to face up. Let's take the inverse of this shape. We're going to heel toe our feet together. Soles of the feet come to touch. Allow your knees to open out wide for this reclined Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. You're welcome to place those pillows or your blocks underneath your knees here, allowing your legs to be nice and supported. Maybe you invite the right hand to the belly and the left hand to the heart and find 3 to 4 nice long waves of breath. That inhale, expanding and lifting the right hand on the belly before rising and lifting the left hand on the chest. The exhale, softening. The chest releases first, followed by the belly. 2 more long, full breaths, as slow and easeful as you are willing and able. Can you surrender your legs towards the support beneath you or towards the ground? Last breath. Please bring your fingertips to the outside of your thighs. Gently help the knees up. Bring the feet and the knees parallel on the earth. Slide any props alongside of you off to the side as you open your arms to a T. Gonna windshield washer our legs, allowing the knees to drop right as we look left. Nice and easy, legs come through center. Our knees will drop left and we'll turn our gaze to look right. You can allow yourself to go back and forth here. Just unwinding the length of your spine. Let's go one more time, side to side. And then the next time your knees come up to center, let's invite the heels to come back a little bit closer towards the glutes. Let's have one of your props in hand, blanket, pillow, or a block. Please tuck your tailbone towards your heels. Press into your feet. We're going to lift the hips and slide your chosen prop beneath your sacrum. So it's going to come underneath the flat part of your back. You want to feel as if your frontal hip bones are tilting back slightly towards your shoulders. Any position here that feels good with the arms. Palms can turn up towards the sky. Arms can be away from the body. This is another beautiful position for females in that we're allowing the muscles that create our pelvic floor, which constantly hold all the weight of our internal organs, to release. Can you soften into your pelvic floor here, into the front of your hips, allowing your feet and your shoulders to get heavy into the ground? Notice. You may choose to stay right here, or if you wish, maybe you float one leg at a time, inviting your heels to float over your hips in the sky. And if your legs float, maybe they wish to move around a little bit. I like to imagine synchronized swimmers here, some freedom for the legs. Sometimes it feels good to cross the legs as if you're seated cross-legged in a chair. Sometimes it's nice to just scroll the feet or the legs. Tune into what feels best for you. The shape is supportive of the immune system, of our circulatory system, in that it allows things that are heavy and become trapped in our lower extremities to move without the assistance of our muscles back to the organs of elimination. So notice here. Notice sensations in your feet, sensations in your heart. And if your legs have lifted, you can slowly return one foot towards the earth at a time, pausing for a moment back in your supported bridge pose. Allow your spine a moment to settle. And we'll press into those feet. Reach your tailbone towards your heels, lift your hips, reach down, remove that block out from underneath you, and then allow your spine to come down onto the mat one vertebrae at a time. We'll bring the feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Drop the knees together, hands to the front of the leg bones. Gently press those leg bones down, constructive rest. 3 long, full breaths here. And with your third breath, I'll invite you to take a moment and to scan your body. Notice if there's any final shapes or movements your body is asking for. I like to take the last minute or two before our guided meditation in Shavasana to really tune into the best teacher we'll ever know, which is also the teacher we tend to listen to the least often. And it's that one that lives in the center of our being. So for some of us, it might feel nice to let those knees go back and forth again, in that windshield washing movement. Others may wish to find a full spinal twist, letting the knees stack and drop in one direction. And others may wish to draw those knees in towards the chest and to use the arms to kind of stir the knees around. My invitation to you here is to keep your eyes closed, to tune in deeply to what your body's asking for, and to move there without hesitation. If you've been moving in one direction or working with one side of your body, just take an opportunity to move in the opposite way. From what I can see on feet, I see some happy baby. Happy baby might feel really nice. Have about 1 more minute for final exploration. And as you do consider final resting shape, I see a lot of couches nearby. And if it sounds good to you, it can feel really nice to bring your legs onto the couch with your bum flush with the base of the couch. It's called legs up the chair or couch. Yeah, this is a really nice release for your psoas too. Traditionally in studio, we do legs up the wall. It's because we don't have chairs. This one's the better one, in my opinion. So take a moment. You can wiggle those feet side to side until they feel really nice and settled. And then we'll do one experience of a contract and release. So I'll invite you to inhale, squeeze your fists, scrunch up your face, take a nice big inhale, contract all the muscles of your body in towards center. And then nice big open mouth exhale. Let all your muscles go and settle down towards the ground. Allow your legs to become heavy. The back, the glutes, and the shoulders become heavy as you melt into the support of the ground beneath you. Allow your breath to return to its natural ebb and flow. Eyes are open or closed, whatever is most relaxing and comfortable to you this morning. I'll walk you through a brief guided meditation. You're welcome to follow along or to tune me out at any time. At the end of this guided meditation, I'll release you directly into a few minutes of silence and stillness, the fullness of Shavasana. I'll gently bring you back and we'll find our way back to seat at the end of that time. Let's begin. Please imagine or visualize that you are resting along the earth alongside of your favorite body of water. This can be an ocean, a lake, a river. Let's take a moment to visualize your surroundings, what the earth feels like beneath you, what the air smells like, maybe what you hear in the distance. And as you settle in to this landscape, as you tune into your surroundings, you begin to notice the warm water at your feet slowly starting to roll as gentle wave towards your body. This warm water gently moves up your feet. It covers your feet, your ankles, your calves, and your knees. And as this gentle, warm wave rolls back and away, it draws with it any tension from your knees, your calves, your ankles, and your feet. Another warm, gentle wave moves in, this time covering your lower legs, your knees, your thighs, glutes, and pelvis, coming to rest just above the navel. The lower half of the body completely immersed in the warmth of the water. As this next wave gently rolls away, it draws with it all tension from the belly, the low back, hips, legs, and feet. The final warm, gentle wave rolls in, this time covering your legs, your hips, abdomen, chest, arms, and hands, with the head still above the water. As this gentle wave releases back down and away, it draws with it any tension from your shoulders, your chest, back, arms, hands, abdomen, hips, glutes, legs, and feet, leaving you completely relaxed completely at ease. Allow yourself to rest here. The only thing that is asked of you is to just be. Please begin to deepen your breath, allowing your mind's eye to gently scan your body, becoming aware of what sensations are present, noticing if anything has shifted from the beginning of our time together. Begin to find some small, nurturing movements, which might mean turning your head easily from side to side, wiggling your jaw or your fingers or your toes. Eventually allowing your knees to come into your chest, wrapping your hands around them, giving yourself a nice big hug. Might feel good to rock side to side. Might feel really nice to rock over and to come to rest on the right side of your body in a fetal position. Here in a fetal position, a sacred marking of transitions from development to birth, from resting to wakefulness, and from the end of our time together on our mat to the beginning of our time together off of our mat. Just check in with your heart, listen. Notice if there's something you no longer wish to carry, you wish to release here and now. Or perhaps you've discovered something through your practice today you wish to carry forward. Or maybe it's just pure, sweet, sweet silence. You've had a moment to listen to your heart, moving as slowly and easeful as available. Please keep your eyes closed or your gaze soft and allow the strength of your hands to lift your body upright returning back to a supported seated position. As you find your seat, we're all moving at different paces, so take your time. I invite you to bring your hands back together into Hakini Mudra, floating them out in front of the abdomen. And take a few long, steady breaths. Listening in and feeling your breath on the inside of your body. And after your third breath or so, let's bring our hands into Anjali Mudra, the left hand and the right hand coming to meet together at the center of our chest. The fingers spread wide, radiating our light and our joy forward and out. Gently tilt the chin inwards, bowing down in honor of your heart, in honor of your being. Please take a moment to thank yourself. Thank yourself for all the work you've been doing, for your work with Carmen, for your willingness and for your ability to be here with your body and with your breath today. It's not easy. We'll take a moment to extend gratitude to the other practitioners and community members of this space. You know, in my own life, there have been times when I have relied on the reflection of others' light while I search for my own. So thanking them for showing up, for being willing to be seen as they transform as well. And finally, a little bit of gratitude for this practice of yoga, for this practice of life, which helps us to heal the parts of ourselves we didn't know needed healing. And from my heart to yours, I thank you deeply for offering me the opportunity to do what I love best, which is to share this practice. The light within me sees and honors the light that resides in each and every single one of you. Continue to shine that beautiful, beautiful light. Namaste, everyone.
That was just so beautiful. A few words I just wanted to talk a little bit about, and then we can open it up for questions and then let everybody get on with their beautiful day.
Absolutely.
I wanted everybody to notice the difference between what we did today and if you've done yoga before. So why specifically I wanted to bring Heather and this beautiful practice to our space is because, like she mentioned, oftentimes we go into yoga and we're pushing and pushing to do something more and overextend or extend ourselves. And if you think about the words that she used, expand, ease, invite, all of these words just feel so good to embody that true feminine essence and energy that we have. And what if we invited that more often into our day, instead of feeling like that we have to push all the time, instead of feeling like we have to be in that doing energy and that powerful masculine energy, what if we invited in every day? How can we experience more flow and more ease in what we're doing in our everyday? And it was just such a beautiful practice today. And that's why I wanted to bring this, because it's not just a lesson in yoga or working out. It's a lesson in our lives. Because when we can sit in that energy of flow and ease, that also brings joy and happiness and freedom. And we're able to let go of overwhelm, stress, anxiety, comparison, judgment. So I hope you found a lot of joy in today's practice and ease and flow. And I want to thank you for being here, but I do want to just open it up if there were any questions at all for Heather today.
Feel free to just jump in. You don't have to raise hands or anything.
I have no questions, but I just want to thank you for this time. I really needed this.
You're very welcome, Carissa.
Thanks, Carissa. And
You're also welcome to ask personal questions if that's helpful.
The other thing I do want to mention, since it seems like there's no questions, is I have opened up 10 spots. So there's 4 left for my first retreat this year, my first retreat in over a year. So it's an in-person retreat for 10 women in Miami Beach. It's called the Permission Slip Retreat. It's from June 24th to June 27th. We start Thursday at 6 with a full moon ceremony, and then end with some integration ceremonies Sunday, the 27th at 1 p.m. So there's 4 spots left, and I've only really opened it up to the community. I haven't really shared it publicly because I really want to get those that really feel called to attend be able to grab a spot. And I'm offering $100 off your spot through tomorrow if you use the coupon code community. So just let me know if you're feeling called to that, if that feels right for you. Again, doing something for ourselves and putting ourselves first is often something that we put on the back burner. And with, I think, the year that we had last year, and then going into this year, that we have all these expectations and we think it's going to be one way, and all of a sudden we're like, well, we should be happy, but why are we feeling this unrest still? We'll be tackling that and having fun and excursions and connecting and deep diving and doing a lot of spiritual work, and it's just going to be really, really magical. Bringing something different than I've never brought before to a retreat. So if you're feeling called to that, I'd love to see you there. And Heather, of course, you are invited as well, if that seems like that is on your heart, or if you know any women that would fit that as well. But unless there was anything else, I just want to say how grateful I am for each of you for being part of this community, how grateful I am to be connected to you, Heather. The universe just brought us together at the right time.
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to practice with Heather in person, which is actually in Oregon in the Bend Redmond area. If you ever get over there, you can practice with her in person. Yeah, and that's it.
Is it okay? I'd like to drop a couple of resources in the chat box for you all.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah. Okay. And I'll
so the first one
to our Facebook group.
Perfect. The first one is the website to the International Organization of Yoga Therapists. We're worldwide. I don't know where you're all coming from, but chances are you can find somebody. It's really helpful to work one-on-one with somebody or to attend their group sessions. So that's the first link. If you are interested in yoga therapy, one-on-one or group sessions, you can find a therapist nearby. I was trying to pull up another video. Maybe I'll just send it to you, Carmen, separately. So a great video on Instagram this week about the difference between refilling our own cup and filling our own cup until it's overflowing. So I am somebody that comes from severe burnout. I have been obviously managing this as best as I can. And that was a video that just really spoke to me. So I have a note that I can send that to you, Carmen. And then the last thing I wanted to do is to just send you a link to, if you are interested in practicing online with me, I'm only with a studio right now, but you're welcome to join. I have Tuesday classes at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and class. So if you don't have a yoga studio in your area, or you find something that's just like really speaking to you and today really worked for you, I lead all my sessions from just basically what we did today. It's a yoga therapy model. We interweave all the layers of our being. So that's another option. And then if you ever have any questions, here's my personal email address. My big thing is I really dislike when people go to one yoga class, get injured, and never return. So if you have an injury, you want to know what type of a session to look for. You want to just, your back flares up and you just want like a go-to pose, please. I'm here, it's free, I am here to serve. So that's my email address. You can reach directly out to me. And then the last thing I'll do is I draw some yogi stick figures. I'm going to take a photo of this and I'll send it out to Carmen so that you'll have the practice we did today. If it's something that you really spoke to you, you can revisit it. And then if you are practicing this on your own and you don't understand my hieroglyphics, that email address is there to help you out.
Thank you so much. Can you all see why I love her so much? Seriously, the universe just brought us together. And I had one session with her and a client of mine, and I was like, I love you. We are meant to be connected. We need to do more of this together. And so here she is. I'm bringing her magic to all of you. So thank you so much, Heather. We appreciate you. And thank you all for showing up for yourselves and each other. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Bye.
Thanks, ladies. Thanks, Carmen. Bye. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye.